Hey folks, welcome to Verified Investing's Trade Setups in Action video. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Today's date is Tuesday, July 7th, 2020, and I've got a special alert here you have to be aware of, folks. This is very rare that we get this formation, but I wanted you guys to be understanding of it. It's super, super rare. The QQQ is putting in a topping tail, which by itself is not that unusual. We've seen topping tails on charts before. Again, it usually is a bearish signal when it's at the highs or all-time highs on a chart, which it is, but more importantly, there's a time count with it, and the time count is extremely powerful, especially when it coincides with a topping tail. In fact, the odds of a pullback in the QQQ for tomorrow and the next few days are probably north of 80%. Based on this formation. In fact, we're already seeing stocks starting to reverse today. Take a look at Amazon, which has had a crazy run. Look at this now, down $40 on the day after this nutty move up. This again also coming into a time count. You're not getting a topping tail though. You're just getting a decent sell-off. But again, my guess is you're going to pull back to sub 2,800 on Amazon over the next few days. You're going to do a recheck essentially back to the former pivot high right here. Another stock that's coming in, Tesla, only up $6 to $7 right now. This traded as high as 1,429.5 on the day, starting to come in. This also has a time count. See this upsloping trend line right here? That's your check back level. So over the next couple days, I think this thing comes right back in. You have a gap fill right here. You have an upsloping trend line. That's my general target over the next 3 to 5 trading days on this stock. So again, the market has had an incredible run. The money flow from smaller investors has been like I've never seen it before. Whether people wanted to gamble on sports and they can't, I don't know what it is, but the money flow over the last 3 weeks or so into the market, especially into names like Tesla. We've seen it in names of like Spotify, Zoom, you name it. I mean, FSLY is another monster, but even that's starting to have a pullback today. Take a look at FSLY today. Not a topping tail yet, but if this thing closes, I would say if it closes basically around 85 today, which would still take quite a sell-off, you'll get a topping tail on this one. Man, I could go to many, many other charts here that have this formation. But interestingly enough, look at Google today, guys. Google kissing a double top and putting in a potential topping tail as well, also with a time count. And again, the key here is there's some topping tails forming, right? So okay, that's interesting, but it's the time count that makes it so significant, and I want you guys to be fully aware of that. That's something that's piquing my interest quite a bit here, and now we'll see what the next couple days. I'm very curious to see the next few days and how price action goes. Markets, again, have ultimately turned negative. The S&P was pretty much neutral to negative all day long, but starting to sell off a little bit more. If we go to the SPY, you can see it's now down $1.65. It's actually pretty close to the lows of the day. One thing I'm watching really closely on the SPY here is this upsloping trend line. So you can see this line starts down here in early April, connects to the pivot low in May. Here's one in June, and then we broke below it and we confirmed, and we hammered on it here, here, and we even opened above it and closed below it here. Yesterday, for the first time, we closed above it, but we didn't get confirmation. And again, confirmation is a signal that was developed that basically tells you whether it's a real break above a level or below a level, or is it a fake out by the bots, the algos out there, by the general big boy institutional traders and investors. And today, unless we have a big rally into the end of the day, we're not going to confirm, which tells me that this market is still in a weak position. I would have preferred if the gap was filled up here. Really that in an ideal world would have filled, but it didn't at this point. But watch to see where we close. If we close back below this line, this market's very vulnerable for a dump out over the next couple days, easily to the 310 level, but potentially all the way down to 300 again on the SPY. What could be the catalyst for this? I have no clue. I don't pretend to see the future. I don't have a magic 8-ball or a crystal ball. All I know is that the charts are what guide me and give me the ability to read the charts with about an 80% success rate. And that's when I'm alerting you guys to something I'm seeing, is when I see these 80% odds or greater of something going on. And right here is a good one, a good example with the time counts, with the topping tails forming. We still have a little time left in the day, about an hour and 15 minutes, so I want to see where the QQQ closes. If we rally sharply into the end of the day, there's always a chance that the topping tail doesn't form, in which case the time count isn't quite as significant. You always want two factors, all right? And this is a good educational point, folks. If you're looking at a chart factor, you want to find two factors to get you in a trade. Two factors or greater, you're going to have 80% odds or greater of a successful trade on that equity or commodity or currency or whatever it may be. If you only have one factor, you might get 60-40, but again, in general, for me to take a trade, I want 80% success rate odds or greater. And that's really what has kept me trading this market successfully with our members here at InTheMoneyStocks.com since 2007. We formed the company. I formed it with Nick, my partner, in 2007, and there aren't many companies now that have been around for that long that have had the longevity of us since that time frame. So very cool stuff. All right, so let's keep an eye on the NASDAQ. I'm very curious about the QQQ here. Qs are down 28 cents, still a topping tail in place, but let's see where they close. All right, if you want to come and join my service, it's called Verified Investing Alerts. Every trade I take is verified. Every options trade, we have an options alert service called Verified Options as well. You can go to the website InTheMoneyStocks.com. You'll see my name, Gareth Soloway, at the top. The drop down will give you my two services. I welcome you to come and join, come learn, come profit with me. Let's do it. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your day.